At a time when leaders are returning to work after a break, many are not feeling as refreshed as they expected. This could be due to burnout. Burnout is very different to feeling a bit stressed, and most leaders know the difference. For more, I'm joined by Margie Ireland, founder of Happy Healthy Leader. Margie, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So the first question today, and it's a big one for me, what is burnout and do I have it?
Well, I'll tell you what burnout is and then you can determine if you've got it. So burnout's become a term that we're using quite commonly. It's a bit like, oh, I'm burnt out and, you know, feeling a bit tired and stressed. But the World Health Organization actually has determined burnout as a phenomena for humans in the workplace. And when they talk about burnout, there's three things they're looking for. So the first thing is fatigue that won't go away, even after a break, after a holiday, after a weekend, it's just relentless. Second thing is a negativity, a resentment, even a cynicism towards your work. Now the thing with that one is that often people don't recognise it in themselves. So, and some people don't, I mean, Daniel, you might not want to admit that you're feeling negative or cynical about your work.
Yeah.
But others may have noticed it.
For sure.
And then the third thing is a sense of ineffectiveness.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine you're fatigued, you're feeling a bit negative about your work, your performance is probably not going to be as great as it normally is. Or those things lead to you having a drop in confidence, and that can really cause problems.
This all sounds very familiar.
Right.
Margie, very familiar. So tell me, what is the difference between burnout and stress?
Really good question. So burnout really is stress that's been going on for a long time. And that's how we get it. So we all need stress. We need it to get out of bed in the morning. There's a good stress, we call it eustress, we never call it that. And so we need it to go to work, to pay the bills, to do things we enjoy. But once we sort of get to our optimum level of stress, or we're really engaged and in the moment, if things and resources start to go away, we can start to go into distress. And if you think of coming out of the pandemic, 2 years of being in stress, that's a long time. And so that's why we're starting to see this spike in people with burnout, now that we've had a chance to go, oh, okay, I don't have that to worry about anymore. But I'm still fatigued. I'm still feeling these other things.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and I feel like this would speak so true to so many people. So we've identified what burnout is, what stress is. With burnout, what are 3 key strategies that we can implement to get out of it?
Yeah, okay, yeah, really good question as well. So the best way to look at it is focusing on the things that you have control over. So often what I see a lot of leaders do in the work I do is they try and control the things they can't control, like the work environment, the systemic issues, the bigger issues. And it's not to say those aren't important, but when you're in burnout, it's really hard to tackle those. So you're better off focusing on what you do have control over. And the first thing is this, your machine, your body. And all those things we know about, eating well, drinking less, getting good sleep, you know, all those things are really important. And I completely get it. When you're tired and a bit annoyed with the world, you want to go for the quick fix. You know, the more wine, the more chocolate, the binging on Netflix or whatever, right? I get it. But when you're in burnout, you really do need to start doing more self-physical care. Second thing is mindset, the thing between our ears. And that can be a lot easier to deal with than most people think. And there's a really simple strategy I do with my clients, which is left and right brain. So if you had a pen and I got you to write your name down in your predominant hand, you'd probably do it fairly easily without thinking, like automatically.
Yeah, right.
If I got you to switch the pen to your other hand, and people watching might want to do this, when you go to write it, it's a lot harder because you're having to think about it. And at that time, you're actually having to turn on your creative brain, which is your problem-solving brain. And so what I get people to do is I go, okay, so in your predominant hand, write your problem down, automatic brain, then put the pen into the other hand. What's the solution? And so what that does is it triggers you to think of things in a different way and to shift that mindset. So that can be helpful.
Yeah.
Third thing is connection. So reaching out, to people that you trust, people that you care about, whether it's a counsellor, a friend, a coach who's qualified that can help you move through it. And you might need to go and get that additional professional help as well.
Yeah, it's really good that you mentioned other supports that are available for people. Yeah. Margie, thanks so much for joining us on Ticker today.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching Ticker. We'll have more in just a few minutes.